What's up? On this episode of Above Atlas, I'm here with my main man, Alex. We just finished a beautiful late lunch and his and his beautiful girlfriend, Lily. And we were talking about telling the truth. We were talking about living authentically and myself being a bullshit artist in recovery and living a life that's authentic and with integrity and being real and truthful. Alex had a question, and I thought this would be relevant for you.
Yeah, we associate so much pain when we are obsessed about the idea of telling the truth. And it gets to a point on where do you draw the line about when is it right to tell the truth?
Yeah, good question. It's funny because, and I have the answer, it forced me to kind of look in to find the answer. And the relationship that I currently have with Amanda right now, it's interesting because we have this policy of telling the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, even if it hurts, even if it hurts.
Yeah.
And I remember at one time, Amanda had said to me, "Do you know what it's like?" She even said it in a really negative tone. She said, "Do you know what it's like to be with somebody who tells the truth all the time?" So when he asked me this question, I was like, wow, this is really interesting because this is my thing that I'm working on this year. This is my word of the year that I'm going to be tackling, and it's the art of discernment. And discernment is the ability to judge well. And so when do we tell the truth? When do we tell the truth, and when do we hold back the truth? Is it this policy of just tell the truth? You know what? You look ugly today.
I want 100% honesty no matter what. Yeah, right.
You smell horrible. Like, at what point do we say, like, okay, that's a little bit too much truth? My buddy JC always says, Nima, hanging out with you is exhausting, because it's exhausting telling the truth. So what I've been working on as I'm getting my life in more powerful alignment with relationships and career, what I've been working on is this whole art of discernment. Discernment means the ability to judge well. And for some of you watching, this is just natural. Like you'll be listening and you'll be like, yeah, duh. Like, you know. But guys like us, this isn't like, duh, common sense. Common sense is not so common for guys like us. And so what I've been learning is the art of discernment, the ability to judge well, involves two things. Number one, well, first of all, you gotta understand the context.
Yeah.
So
the situation.
The context of the situation, number one, right? Which is obvious, but context meaning you gotta know the values of the person that's your audience, whether it's a big group of people or as one person. You gotta know what their triggers are. You gotta be aware. You have to be conscious and aware of how it's going to land. In other words, what are their potential values? And that's probably the biggest challenge for us, especially guys like us who are so one-dimensional in our thinking
and self-centered.
maybe self-centered, being 100% focused on our own visions.
Yeah.
For women, this is common knowledge. For guys like us who are very one-track mind in our thinking, you got to be aware of the context and the values of the people, number one. And number two, you have to have, what I'm learning, I have to have a profound conscious awareness of the outcome that I want.
Yeah.
So if you ask me,
foresight.
You gotta have the foresight and go, what's the outcome that I want? And if Lily asks you a question and you just tell the truth and you know she has a soft heart about certain things and the outcome that you want is a nice romantic connection later, what you're going to do then is, using the art of discernment, deciding on the outcome in advance, and then sharing it in a way, the truth in a way that's going to help you get the outcome. You can still be authentic, you can still be truthful, but you're doing it holding that person's heart in your hand, completely connected to the outcome, which takes discernment, which takes conscious awareness, it takes authenticity, and it takes empathy.
Correct.
And so these are traits and skills that I've been working on really diligently, and traits that guys like us, especially the drivers, D-types, those of you who are understand disc profiles, achievers, entrepreneurs, people who are very goal-oriented, high achievers, that kind of thing, they have the biggest challenge with this.
Yeah. Sometimes we lack the sensibility of our emotional environment, and we're just so focused on our goals that whatever gets in our way, we just push it aside and we just tell the truth by doing so.
Exactly. And I've been working with a lot of men who are exactly like that. And what's interesting is, as I work on this more and more, I attract clientele who are actually working on the exact same thing. So I see a lot of men who are drivers, entrepreneurs, A-types, D disc profile, driver disc profile, who are working to make their relationships more connected, and that is the one thing, is the art of discernment. So as I work on this more, the conversation keeps continuing everywhere I go, and I think that you would probably benefit from that too. So I'd like to hear from you. Where have you been using examples of this discernment, the ability to judge well, to know the context, to hold the values in the heart of the individual in your hands, and being able to tell the truth, but in a way that it would land on the other person?
Or when are you telling the truth because you don't want to feel guilty for telling a lie or withholding the truth? When is it that you're telling the truth because you don't want to feel like you're being a hypocrite?
Yeah. So we all aspire to do that, yet in my observation, especially working in relationship dynamics, there's a lack of integrity somewhere that's causing a breakdown, and it's causing us to not have aligned relationships. I know what that's like. I've been living like that for 30 some odd years. So as I'm rehabilitating with this, we teach what we most want to learn, and the art of discernment, the art of having a powerfully aligned relationship that's based on truth and integrity. And that's exactly what we talked about at lunch, so I really wanted to include you guys. Let us know what shows up for you, and greetings from Barcelona!